Hello friends, Jennifer Pearson here, Thistle Gypsy, and I am not going to do this reading on YouTube, but I thought I would explain what I do for my Lenormand weeklies, because other people might be interested in doing this if you have Lenormand cards, and it just helps you see kind of where I'm getting some of the information when I do my Lenormand readings. So the readings are text readings that are on my website. So I laid this out for the coming week and thought, as I started to look at it, and it started to, this is I think the third time that I've done it, and it's really starting to solidify just how well it works, and kind of how it's working for me. So I thought I would get on and talk a little bit about it. So what I did, this is similar to a Grand Tableau spread. So I have all of the cards laid out here except for one. In a Lenormand deck there are 36 cards. So what I'm doing is five vertical right here, 5 cards. 5 times 7, which is 35. And so I end up with 1 card left out. I haven't figured out the significance of the 1 card left out yet. So we'll have to see. It was interesting because the first two previous times, it was the woman that was left out. And what was interesting to me is that was, leading up to the Women's March and then the Women's March activities. Now, is that affecting everybody? No, but it is in the news. So, and I didn't think about that until actually just after laying this out and seeing this here, and then thinking about the woman and what the woman had been, what her significance might have been. Initially, I was thinking maybe this card is what is not, what is not in our lives, but after thinking about it, and I'll be watching this as I do this over the next, few weeks anyway, I'll be paying special attention to this card that's left out to see if maybe it represents something going on in our public lives. In other words, kind of in the wider world, rather than something that is happening to people kind of on an individual basis, sort of thing. So what I have is 5 cards, and what I do is this 5 is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay? So the columns are the days. And so for each day you have 5. And I haven't really consulted my Lenormand deck about how about the traditional methods of reading a 5-card spread. I know it would, you'd have them like this, and I've already done Sunday, so I don't mind messing with it a little bit. And you'd look how different, there's definitely the crux of the issue is the middle card. Okay, and you can interpret the ones on either side. You can do this as 3, and you can do this as 3. You can look at the firsts and the middles. So there's different ways you can do it. But what I'm finding in what I am doing, the purpose for which I am using these cards, is that this is still the crux of the matter. This row right here is still kind of the crux of the matter. I tend to relate things a lot back to that center card. But I'm finding that this message here tends to be toward the beginning of the day, and that this message here is toward the end of the day. That's not an absolute, but that is starting to be how I kind of feel that there is a process going on through the day. This is the crux or the most important thing, but it's like these things relate to it in the early part of the day, the later part of the day. Maybe this creates this situation and this is a result, but there is something not strictly linear, but there is something linear going on. So the other thing I wanted to mention, so I am finding this really useful and interesting way to use the Lenormands. And the other thing that I do is, if you go to my website and you look at one of these, is at the end I will say may have to do with, in case of this Sunday, may have to do with a Sagittarius and a Cancer, or may involve a Sagittarius and a Cancer. You know, that's maybe. I read the cards first as their traditional meanings, but I add that because I have, for my own purposes, this is by no means conventional, but I have assigned different cards in the Lenormand deck to astrological signs. So in that Sunday you had the moon and you had the rider. And so I consider the moon Cancer, and I consider the rider to be Sagittarius. So if they're, you know, whatever day they turn up on, whatever day, for example, what do we, so that's Sunday, we would have that, and then on Wednesday, or no, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. On Tuesday there's Pisces and Taurus. So a Pisces and a Taurus might be involved in what's going on that day. So there you go. So you will see that in my write-ups on the website. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I was going to say about this, but not that I can think of at the moment. Feel free to ask me any questions about how I'm using this, the methodology or whatever. If there's questions that come to mind as I've explained this, you know, down in the comments, feel free to leave a question and I will try to answer it to the best of my ability. One thing I haven't done, yeah, and I think I started to experiment with it and I decided it didn't end up being worthwhile. The insights that I seemed to get from it weren't worthwhile, which was what I'm talking about, is adding up the pip cards that are on here. And no, I actually did not. I did that, I think last week. I looked at a couple of days doing that and I thought, you know what, I don't feel like this is adding anything substantial. So I decided not to do that. So there you go. This is the process that I use for my Lenormand weeklies on my website. So just wanted to share it. Pop in, do a quick share. All right, take care. Bye-bye.